instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time. So let the rhythm hit 'em, just let the rhythm hit 'em. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system and turn it up. Up, a little louder, turn it up. Up, a little louder, turn it up.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to put his foot into this one. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They run once more with Edwards. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That'll go as a pickup of 8. Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board. They're able to avoid that 3 and out. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted.
And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First carry for Raheem Mostert.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
They'll give it to Patterson. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Tebow's throw taken in by Moss.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. We're scoreless after 1.
Okay, ready? 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run with Patterson.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play calls, definitely, because as a play caller, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Forced out to him, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Reggie White, what a force. Got back there for the sack.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force him into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Gano's kick is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is, as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And Hester content to hold on to this one and bring it out to the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down. Again, it's Edwards. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's taken down inside the 30. That good for 19 and a first down. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? What imposed their will on the defense was that 5 straight runs.
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Pushes him over. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And effective running here. They'll take it down inside the 10. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Randy Moss from 8 yards out. And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they... And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Hello, new world. All the boys and girls, I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah. Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry, I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricate streams and the microwave memes, it's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay, 5 days stay, take a quarter meal, hella final. Take off the far flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off the I'm broke, I care. Take off the gossip, take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the Chanel, take off the Doja, take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up us? Get back in pocket. The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't Monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the Superdome. Kadarius Toney going to elect to bring this one out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First and 10, and they've got three tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. A give for Edwards running right. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Running left is Edwards. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They go with Edwards left side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Third down, here's Patterson. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Devin Hester. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Now a handoff, Edwards. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On play action, they'll throw. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is 3rd down. To the right side, this is Edwards. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Hester. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Running the counter, Patterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Patterson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
They'll run here with Edwards. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and 4. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Ravens post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A good gain on first, has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, New Orleans. Calvin Johnson, 68 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Second and 13. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be fourth down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a first and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're...
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Gus Edwards taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints have moved down in front. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Hester, 77 yards. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Down the sideline he goes. A big play there just before halftime. 64 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Rodgers. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Tony Gonzalez in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Hester to return from his end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From the 16, Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Quick completion here to Johnson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
That's good for a save.
Up the middle, here's Edwards. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run. This is Holmes. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Some guys just simply have it, and Randy Moss is one of those guys. His big playability, once again on display right there.
That's what he's known for. He averaged 15.6 yards per reception during his playing days. Highest career yards per catch average for any player with 900 or more receptions. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Reggie White on the sack there, showing the explosiveness that led him to the Hall of Fame.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Edwards, call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Once more, Edwards, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Hester going to decide against a return, and they will spot this at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance, knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers. That is caught. It's Calvin Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
That's good for a Saints.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer Night Train Lane. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson. And he'll get this to the 32.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Ready. Ultra. 10 seconds.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, no steal.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, going back to Patterson. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. 2 seconds on the clock, this for the win. And he got it. Justin Tucker boots it through and plays the role of hero.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah.
Take off the foo-foo. Take off the cloud chase. Take off the Wi-Fi. Take off the money phone. Take off the car loan. Take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry. I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricated streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols. Take off the runway. Take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro Pay. 5-day stay. Take a $250,000. Hella final. Take off the far flag. Take off perception. Take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure. Take off the unsure. Take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep. Take off the fake woke. Take off the I'm broke. I care. Take off the gossip. Take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm rare. Take off the Chanel. Take off the Doja. Take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have?
You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs. You stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up us? Get back in pocket. The world in a panic. The women is stranded. The men on the run. The profits abandoned. The law take advantage. The market is crashing. The industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't Monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all get it. Jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs. You stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up us? Serving up a look, dancing in a drop. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe. Can I vent on my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and pools. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies attracting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Hold up.
Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show, no credit. When you show your bro for leverage.
What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? You gossip. What the fuck is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like Oprah, dog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it, dog. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our 2 quarterbacks, certainly 2 of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, you're team's not going to benefit at all.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from the Superdome. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now Patterson to start the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to the ground now, Patterson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Patterson. Touchdown, Falcons! Cordero Patterson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Falcons 7, Saints nothing.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And Hester content to hold on to this one and bring it out to the 25. Rodgers now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fitzgerald. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw,
tries to force it to Megatron, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Saints are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Now their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, at the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Will we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by the Hall of Famer Mel Blount. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he slides and covers up at the end. This is going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Randy Moss, complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Rodgers now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Gonzalez. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. That's complete to Calvin Johnson. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Taken at the goal line.
On the return, the Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe, because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Reggie White in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by the Hall of Famer Mel Blount. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
I just scraped it off the top, cut it on the road, on the curve, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. Whenever she calls, do what I gotta do. I'm moving with a 2, I paid it out the
Tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew. One for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. And here comes a return. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Second and goal from the 1. Throwing now is Rodgers. Touchdown, Saints. Tony Gonzalez from a yard out. And the Saints need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
They'll take over. First down and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
They go play action with Montana. Clay Matthews adding another sack to his impressive NFL resume.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
All right, partner, deuce is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Again, it's Johnson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Dennis Allen going to go for 2 here. He's leaving his offense out on the field.
Rodgers will throw for it. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted.
Jair Elam makes a pick, and the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down 15-0 here already, needing to jumpstart this offense. 1st and 10. Play fake. Now here's Montana. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world